we're happy to have you. And yeah, so, all right, well, again, welcome. It's amazing what you can get absorbed in when you're not absorbed in self, so to speak. I was just trying to make something. I just love it. You can lose yourself so easily. Truly, it's great. These I feel is some of the effects of hearing satsang. Not being the hearer of it, but hearing it. Yeah. And first, there's a real migration of interest from a lot of topics, and especially the topic of you. And that interest now starts enriching your day. And, you know, those things that you felt like you'd have to work hard at or try to acquire or set yourself up with the right star and moon and the right day and the right condition. But no, there's a peace that passeth all understanding, especially ours. Yeah. So the peace may not be something that was well earned or you know, achieved or studied. It may just be a result of a loss of interest in self, truly. That's how the way I can sort of figure it out is by reverse engineering. And a lot of stuff that was escaping me seems to be readily available now. So, I mean, what's the constant in both of those? Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah. So non-duality is incredibly a novel idea that I think rose as a response to duality, obviously. Yeah, it doesn't have, it's just like in AA and recovery, the specific target is to restore someone to sanity concerning the insanity that precedes the first drink. Really, that was their target, yes? So that the person, the alcoholic, wouldn't start drinking and then wouldn't have to go through all this shit of how to stop. Yeah. So that was their target. And for me, non-duality, the two words describe the target, which is negation of duality. Yeah. Just that's the target. And why? Because this is a weird thing. You're not going to see it by looking for it. Yeah. In this case, you're not going to get it by having it. It's not going to, it doesn't happen that way. It's like it's totally different because it's truly what we are that they're inferring. Yeah. Like as Ramana stated many times, being ourselves reality. Yeah. You know, liking carpentry isn't being ourselves reality. Yes, there's something, it's our own inherent condition that we already are that makes it seem, or actually reveals how absurd it is to try to arrive at where you already are. It just, this is what happens. These things just, they just, before they seem to be cryptic and there must be some underlying meaning in there. But now it's just clear as, it's just as simple as children's building blocks. Yeah, it's just, you can't find what you already are. Yeah, it's just not, that's not available. Yeah, you can't experience it. It would be it'd have to be something other than you to experience it. Yeah, you couldn't, the beautiful thing, you can't have it, but also conversely, you can't lose it, which is great. Yes. And I feel the hearing of the message has a quality of disarming, not another call to arms or a subtle sense of doing without the idea of being the doer. Yeah, I just don't feel it goes that way. I feel it's just a negation from top to bottom. Yeah, So when I arise and say, all right, I got it, that's negated. Yeah. So really, in a sense, it's not an activity of negation. It's like a fact that doesn't have to say no, no, no to the millions of appearances. There's just a knowing of the no after a while. You know what I mean? You don't have to flex the muscle of knowledge. It's a knowing. So things are going on, and you don't have to say they don't mean anything, because they don't mean what they used to mean. Yeah. So it's not like I'm going to try to replace the one meaning with another meaning. No, I don't see it that way. I just see you're not that. Yeah. So when you get an incredible revelation, either through someone else or yourself, about what you're like, and you've been conveniently avoiding this at all costs because you really believe it's what you're like, when it finally catches up to you and all of it lands, the fraudulence, this, the that, the two-faced, you're always hypocritical here. It's duality. No one walks through the mud and stays pure. Yeah, it's just the way it goes on. And so all this stuff that I would attempt to keep away, but I really felt was true, is allowed to really appear as it's been wanting to appear its whole imagined existence, which is it's you. And then it hits you, fraud, asshole, nice, conscious, whatever, all those. And I'm not that. I'm not the one who's conscious. I'm not the one who's unconscious. Yeah. It just negates the noun. Yeah. And then the noun starts leaving the verbs alone, so to speak. You start making a lot of shit out of doing. You do. Everything seems to there's an acceptance as the first acknowledgement. And then then there may be aversion or desire after it. But there's an acceptance of things are happening because they're not happening to me. I had a very difficult time accepting what was happening to me. Yeah, I did. I thought it should be different or better. Like, why did I get run over twice in the same car? Twice by the same car. Once should have been enough, but it seemed like a little added oomph. But so everything is so confusing to the me, but when the me is seen as not you, everything becomes much clearer. Yeah. And it's not as if my peace is dependent on a lot of other conditions not happening. No, it isn't. Yeah. Thinking can be happening and peace can be there. Feelings can be happening and peace can be there. Activity, you can be busy and peace is there. You can be peaceful and peace is there. Yeah. It's not like it's either or. It's like everything seems to get included. And this is not, you don't take a master class of this. It just downloads and you start noticing the change in behavior and how you're looking at things. You're like almost the last to know, really, that things have changed. Yes. But after a while, you observe it and you see something expressing through you. And then very clearly, you see the reaction to the expressing and then the narration about that reaction. Yes. You see it as if something that was like hand-to-hand combat is like sending a missile to another planet. There's so much distance and space in it that you can see it clearly. Yeah. You can see there's a huge eternal void, and then the narration kicks in. There's so much emptiness of just boom, and then the narration kicks in. Usually we seem to come to when the narration kicks in. Yeah. So it's like instead of being behind the 8-ball, you're before the 8-ball. Yeah. Yeah. So And this thing can be solidified by satsang because it's a knowing. It's not a knowledge in a way that's acquired, but it's already a knowing that seems to be smothered by a lot of stuff. Yeah. So it's more of an undoing than a doing. Yeah. It's more of a being streamlined instead of being, rockets added. Yeah. It's more of like a traveling lighter, basically. And all the necessary equipment that we thought we needed to know shit and understand it and manipulate it and control it, it gets sort of, in a way, obsolete. And now it's used for the day-to-day activities, not the huge master plan of how am I going to transcend to the 12th dimension. Yeah. It's just basically, like I used to house paint. Yeah. And I remember when I lived in Australia, I don't hold this on me. It's just a way of talking, but they had research about the brain, and they said the brain produces like 80,000 thoughts a day, let's say. And then I looked at, wow, 80,000 thoughts a day seems to be way overdoing it. Yeah. Because I'm like a house painter. I've never been surprised by a room usually. Usually there would be trim and ceilings and maybe a window and a door. Yeah. So I had to think how many gallons, 2 or 3 gallons. Yeah. Maybe 4 or 5 thoughts, maybe a thought about, I want to get that blueberry muffin before work and a latte. So let's say 30 thoughts pretty much during the day. Let's be extravagant, 80 thoughts about actually what was happening. What are the other thousands and thousands of thoughts doing? Supposedly nature is supposed to be so incredibly efficient, but where is this excess of thought? What is it doing? Yeah, I don't think a physics professor would need, maybe it needs 5,000 thoughts a day, but I don't think anyone's day is going to reach 80,000 thoughts a day unless there's something else is happening, and that the multitude of thoughts provide the mechanism to be remembered as the thinker. Yeah. So all those thoughts are claimed to be yours. They don't seem to have any use other than to reinforce the idea that they're mine. Yeah. So now I think if you just saw thoughts as thoughts, the thoughts would lessen. As you call them yours, they sort of multiply. Yes. I mean, you give birth to them almost. I always truly believe here in this world, like if you own a thought, it now has the ability to own you. Yeah. I do not think I was ever crushed by a thought, but I felt like I was crushed by my thought a lot of times. Yes. The my did something to what came after it. I don't know. I could go in on it, but it would be like a thesis. I don't care about it, but that there seems to be a huge, it directs a lot of shit to the thought. Yeah. And now the thought has a newfound power to ruin my day. But the same thought, if I see it as yours, it doesn't ruin my day. And if I see it as a thought, it doesn't ruin my day. But if I see it as my thought, it has the ability, I must be giving it the ability to ruin my day. Where else did it get the ability? If it's a thought, it doesn't do it. If it's your thought, it doesn't do it. It seems its power is acquired through the my. Yeah. I would say we are it. We are reality. And I feel reality really is faith, so to speak. Yeah. So faith is just a force, and it's manifesting by the vehicle it's put in. And I am super clear about that diagnosis because I saw what the head did to this life. Yeah. In the being disguised as mine. The first thing I recognized after I entered recovery was a lot of the thoughts that were mine were alcoholic thoughts. They were shared by many others. So first of all, how can they be mine if you have them? Yes. So suddenly I got some space I didn't have before. Something moved, yeah, and I didn't move with it. I was established, and then something moved. The thoughts moved, yeah. I didn't move with them. There was space, yeah. And then when I heard non-duality, the idea of alcoholic thoughts became all the thoughts, so to speak, yes? None of them are mine. Therefore, like it says in, there's a very interesting statement in Hinduism, which is, we're all children of a barren woman, yes? So in a way, all these thoughts are mine, but I did not give birth to them, yeah? So are they mine? Did I give birth to the thoughts that I call mine? No, we're all children of a barren mother. Yeah. You know, I could be screwing a nut or a screw, and then satsang starts. We've never had a get ready, get set, go room. You know, we didn't have a stage of, I've got to calm down from, I got to unadhere from the day. Yes, all the influence of the day. I've got to take a shower, get clean, purified. Then I've got to get ready. I got to sit there and merge with a conceptual idea that seems to be something other than me. Yeah. And then, okay, have a nice flowers, maybe a picture of a dead master who, if he came, he wouldn't know who the fuck I was, but there I have his picture. Yeah. But no, it's right. It's so available. There's no need to coax. It doesn't need coaxing. It didn't go anywhere. It's like a well. Sometimes you drink it. When you're not drinking from the well, is there no well? Of course there's a well, yes? So there's this well. Sometimes you drink from it, sometimes you don't. Yeah, but there's the well. It's not, it doesn't go anywhere. So if you're new, you've had thoughts, yes, and they've had you. So let's just present a possibility that the mental activity, people would call it the relative mind. I don't want to even give it the word mind. It's too much credit for it. So the mental processes, yes, they arise in time after conscious contact. So consciousness, if you want to call it, there's a contact with this dreaming, there's an engagement, and then after that momentary spark, yeah, the mental state acts like an ember and claims it, and now lights up its story that I am the thinker, I am the doer, I am the talker, I am the feeler. And not only that, every time a doing is claimed, you feel like a historical doer. It hasn't been 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 has become a critical mass. Yeah. We're in the habit, when a thought is noticed, to have a sense that we're the thinker of it, or that which is being thought about. Yes. It's a manufacturing of consent, so to speak. It claims and claims and claims, and then it seems to be undeniable, because not only are you dealing with being the doer of what's actually being done now, but you've been the historical doer of tons of stuff. Yeah. The case is already closed. You're a doer. This is just piling on. Yeah. You're the thinker. You're the feeler. This is the bondage of self. The bondage of self, that self is pictured as a long-lasting, independent, separate thing. Yeah. It's pictured as that. Yeah. We image ourselves as a thinker, as a body. as a doer, as a body. Now that seems to be a little more close, doing and the body. But the idea that we're the thinker seems to be a stretch. I mean, we're not pumping the blood, beating the heart. I didn't, it's not like I got to stop early today because I got to, finish digesting the burrito I had yesterday. I'm not doing shit, really. Basically, most of the heavy lifting is already taken, is something's doing it. Yeah. Then this crazy idea comes in that I'm the thinker. So, well, let's open it up. So the first movement of the mental state in time is to claim whatever's going on. And actually, it's expanded whatever's not going on. It claims. Mostly it claims what's not happening, definitely. So it's constantly claiming whatever is happening and then running its story. Yeah. It rests, its generator is not Paul, it's the I am, or the spirit, or that sense of existence, which is fueling this whole freaking activity. Yeah. Now, if you're having a great time, far out, yeah. But some of us felt like we were getting eaten alive inside. And we were uncomfortable, not because of a response to what was happening, but because we were wedded to this electrocution from what's not happening. Yeah. And so it's just like in AA, people in some spirituality, they have, oh, maybe I'll do service, but in recovery, it's essential you do service. It's not like an option. It's essential to get out of oneself. It's essential to do something at the beginning. Yeah. It's not like, oh, if you feel like it, do it. No, it's essential if you want to stay sober a day at a time. Yeah. So in a way, what's truly essential in us is already given. Yeah. We are awake. We may not think it looks like our conceptual idea of being awake, but they're seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching with no thought or effort on our part. I would say that's awakeness. Yeah. And so we're all awake. And here in this event, you can seem to be awake to that, which is, it can appear to be true to you, or it can appear not to be true to you. It does not change the fact. Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that knowledge incredibly soothing? So I don't have to have a larger false evidence stepping on the smaller false evidence. No, there's an undeniable fact of onness, and that's the beam of light that's shining on everything else. So you can see false evidence appearing real. And maybe you'll see the role we all have in the false evidence appearing real, because false evidence cannot appear real. It can only appear real to us. Yeah. So I'm very happy to be here. See, I don't know if it's good news or not to you, but while I'm carrying it, it's very good news. Yeah. So I don't care if you want to subscribe to the paper. I like throwing the paper on the porch. I do. It's joyous for me. It gives me a nice dollop of emptiness in the day. Yeah. So thanks for coming and amusing me, and we'll see. Open it up, Mike, if you're there.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, raise your hands if you want. What were you doing that you said that you got lost in?
I'm just making a crossbody bag.
Crossbody.
Yeah, it's not a backpack. It goes
Oh,
across.
single strap.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just repurposing something and making it into one of those things.
When you talked about that, about what might come up if you're not preoccupied with self, um, it's hard to put it in a story. Like, one thing I like
Yeah.
is dirt. So like today I was shoveling a lot of dirt out of the pickup, and from that place to the area of the yard where I wanted it to go, and I can just be totally content with that. But of course, there's like it's so there's nothing to it. I'm just moving dirt from one place to another, and I like the dirt itself. I mean, I like getting my
See,
hands
but
on it.
you're there. That's the value.
Yeah, but I just wanted to bring it up. Like, it's hard to or I wonder about how people take it, like how they might be taking this. Like, the head will, excuses will be like, well, I'm retired, I should be doing something more noble than that. I don't even have kids. I could learn to do some kind of meaningful horticulture, and all I'm doing is shoveling dirt. So, but I'm happy that I get to like that more now. Just like sitting here listening to satsang over and over again. It's like playing in the dirt, right? There's nothing, there's nothing really, no big deal thing going on. But it's nice to be able to like it. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it.
Well, yeah, you remember the old Zen saying, before something, chopping wood, carrying water, after chopping wood, carrying water. Yeah.
Exactly.
Before you thought there was a purpose in it. Now you're free from the need to have a purpose, and you're enjoying chopping wood and carrying water. Hallelujah. Yeah.
Carrying dirt.
Seriously. Don't you ever remember that beautiful exercise the Tibetan monks do? They a bunch of them come with all this colored sand, and they make a mandala for a week. Very intricate. They're on it all day, pouring the little sand in a little funnel and doing a thing. And on the seventh day, it's an incredible description. And then they all just move all the sand around. Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
As a beautiful exercise of, doing a whole lot and ending up with nothing. You have to have eyes to see the value of that. Yeah. It doesn't make sense until it does. Yeah, but when it does, yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting me share that. You
Yeah.
got a couple hands up.
Yeah.
John's first.
Hey, one thing I want to say, I think the world would be better off based on, I don't know. I think the world's better off without me trying to save it, really. I think it's, yeah. 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 All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, John's first. Oh, he's
All right.
muted though. Okay.
Hey, yeah, no, I find that the less important I realize I am in the scheme of things, the happier I am.
Yeah.
But so just it's funny that you were just talking about moving the dirt and stuff like that, and like ever since I've heard about non-duality, I've found that like I will have not just moments, but sometimes long stretches of time, hours. Occasionally, I get lucky. It's days where like I'm not doing anything special. I haven't gone on a vacation or a retreat I haven't gotten some kind of special prize. I just am doing whatever I'm doing, going to work or whatever it is. And it just, everything seems shiny, everything just seems like, I'm just engaged, and everything is just really beautiful in like a low key kind of like not a peak experience way. And that's great. And I feel like that's wonderful. But then there's this like, there's this other way that feels almost like the evil twin of that, where I'm not looking for something specific, but I just feel bored or whatever. Like it's like I feel like I'm just doing time, like I'm just watching myself go through the motions. And yeah, I don't know how else to explain it, except it almost feels like,
Well,
I don't
one's
know.
living and the other's a narration. Yeah. One's
What's
living and the other's a narration. So there's a duality there. And the thing is, the interest is in the habit of going to both.
yeah.
And so you dive into one pool, like the hot pool, then you dive into the cold pool. And usually the in-between is the bridge of the in-between is the word but. Yeah. So everything is really great and but, and then there you jump in the other pool. But you don't. It's the head moving. Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
There'll be a loss of interest in the narration, and there'll be a gaining of interest in the living. That's all. And
The
I feel
narration can be really subtle, right? Like it doesn't have to like I feel like what's happened is like the narration has become more and more like low key. Like I have to like pay more attention to notice that it's going on.
great. Yeah, because you're going to pay less attention, and you won't be noticing it's going on as much. That's what I mean. The scales are being tipped as we speak. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't see it. The difference in your seeing is when it's 50.000.1 on one side. Then your whole sight changes about the other side. It just does. Yeah. While it's 55, the other side, and 45, then you're doing affirmations and hoping and trying to change the scale and this and that. But it's futile in a lot of ways. The value in it is that it fails you.
Yeah.
That's really true. The value is it fails you. And then there's sooner or later a loss of interest in it. And then the percentage goes up on the, let's say, empty side. And once it does, hits a point of 50.000.1, everything changes. Yeah. What used to be difficult and the desire to stabilize and trying to make it continue, there's loss of interest in that. Yeah. There's just more loss of interest, and then interested in actually what's seemingly happening.
So every time I kind of think like, well, what the fuck am I going to do about it anyway? That's like actually a positive.
Exactly. You have nothing. Basically, the resistance is futile, but the
Okay.
head never gets that. But there will be a getting of that. And then basically the volume doesn't get turned down. It's just distance is produced because you're in the everywhere. And then that mental somewhere seems to be farther and farther away. It just does. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
This is powerful message. And its power isn't exhibited through great effort and thought. It's very disarming. But you see, a lot of the things that seem to be obstacles, you've blown them up in a sense with interest and faith. Yeah.
Mhm.
And now they're going to get either, they may get popped, you'll have a big moment, but some are just punctured with a little needle and they just lose air. Yeah. You just keep living, and then, wow, I didn't even notice that thing sort of disappeared. Yeah, because you weren't interested in its appearance anymore. Yeah. Yeah, I feel it's appropriate, really, because something blew up and now it's just in manifestation, things are expressed as an appearance or as activity in a dualistic manner. So there's something gets blown up and really, really, and then it gets shrunk and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're neither of them, but the experience is of one of them lessening and the other one is getting stronger as an action figure. You're traveling lighter. Yes. We're not talking about awareness seeking the travel lighter. We're talking about an expression in this experiential dreaming of traveling lighter where there's a possibility of traveling heavy. Yeah. And now you're in the habit of traveling lighter, where before you were in the habit of traveling heavy. Yeah. And fuck, it's great.
Yeah, it is.
I recommend it. Yeah, I do. Because you're not getting out of this little activity. You're not going to transcend as the action figure. The action figure has got you rooted here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're thinking it's going to be a chariot of the gods, it's the tires are going to get blown before you even hit the first dimension. You're just going to, before you're going to be float right back here. Yeah. I had it happen with shooting coke. I would shoot coke, go way off, pretty much die, and then I'd reappear in this movie as an action figure. And the people that usually were there when I reappeared were there again, police and hospital people. I was so fucking pissed I couldn't escape this place. So now the great wisdom of no escape, there's nothing to escape from. This is not real in what we've given it the meaning of. Yeah. Its reality has given the meaning of reality to this place. This place is not real. You're going to forget all about it tonight when you go to sleep. That's how real it is. Yeah. We're reality, lending reality to a lot of stuff. Yeah. Thank God the fantasy can only last 80, 90 years at the most, maybe 100. You know what I mean? That's a blink in the, that's not even the one eyelid move in eternity. Yes. Yeah. Don't you feel like when you're asleep, well, there's a period where you're not dreaming, obviously.
Yeah.
Everything is not here. You're just totally, what happens? Something reformulates and coagulates again, and you wake up, and then the show goes on. Yeah. Now I feel the show is primarily based on duality, which is it can be really fucking heavy and it can be much lighter. And it's not about managing and controlling all of the furniture and the obstacles, but you, yeah. The way you're looking at it changes. And then the meaning it brings back to you changes. Yeah. And therefore, you now travel later. You're now present because you have never not been. You're available because you've never not been. And now that puts you in a position of being of service. And it's not your need to know how you're going to be used, but just know that you're being used. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can, get lost in something. Yeah. So. Today, we're not going into the dynamics. We're getting more the feeling of it. So, yeah. The feeling of what it's like to be freed from a fucking heavy weight that you're carrying around without knowing there's any option. There's no choice, but there are options. You can lean this way or that way. And basically, the way things go have a lot to do with your ignorance or your awakeness. Yeah. And so here you go. You're already awake. So that's not going to be like moving mountains. You just have to stop believing you're asleep. Or actually, not even that. You just have to stop believing you're the one that thinks they're asleep. Yeah. And you're the one that thinks they're awake. You forget both. Yeah. Yeah. My life is not pinned on one or the other. There's something that's not siding with one or the other side. There's something that's there that can't be quantified or expressed or anything, but I can sense it. I can feel it. And it is not of two. It's not like a moon with the dark side and the sun side, because the moon doesn't have a dark side. It's based on the light, the sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I would say we are the sun, and then there's shadow that's cast because we're looking at things, and then there's this thing and the shadow, and this is just the duality of it all. Something could be the worst thing that ever happened. Something could be the exact same thing could be seen as the best thing that ever happened. That's how incredibly extreme it can be, this dreaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only, all my mystical goals have just been brought down to, hey, I just traveling lighter. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. I'm all dumb after that. I am. I'm dumbed down completely. I just traveling lighter. I mean, it's been a joy, literally. I don't know if I was seeing beauty in the past. Maybe I was, but obviously it's now been drenched in the past. This is so vividly alive. It's awesome. A lot of days. Yeah. Just feel, I have a lot of gratitude, because I definitely know this idea of being a thing doesn't know a thing. That's for sure. So, all right, thank you. And
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And Paul, the echo came back a little bit. Amelia Square doesn't show muted and it doesn't give me the option to mute. So I don't know.
hey, honey, could you mute you? It's echoing somewhere. And she says she's muted.
It's not showing muted in the square. Maybe she can restart or something. But it's not too big a deal, so don't worry
All
about
right,
it.
let's not, yeah, let's leave it be.
Okay.
It's a part of the whole event. Yes. Yes. If you play the event back, the most wise shit is going to be heard in that echo. Yes.
If you're playing it backwards.
Play it backwards after the talk. I don't know if you can talk to you two about it. Play it backwards and really listen keenly to the echo.
Okay.
There's a lot going to be revealed.
Well,
How gullible you are, or whatever. There's a lot of things will be revealed.
okay. Are you ready for Cheesy Frank?
Yeah, Cheesy Frank, behave yourself. Well, there'll be no mayonnaise for you. So yes, ham and cheese. Come on.
You're muted.
Don't bring any condiments. Just bare hair, ham and cheese.
Still muted.
3 mutes and you're out.
You're gonna have to sign language.
It's okay. Move to someone else. We can
Okay.
go back.
We'll come back. John Luna. Hi, John.
John,
What's up, Mike? What's up, Paul?
happy to hear from you, John.
Yeah, it's always good to connect. I was just listening to John's conversation with you, and today I sort of had a report, and it's that like an insight. I can't seem to live that old way of like a means to an ends anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like doing stuff as a means to an end. Like it's not like I don't have, and it's not having goals where you have to get stuff done, but like I feel something feels itself leaving and going into like that barren place of time and losing the connection of that aliveness, and then just feel pulled back into it, and seeing that aliveness that is available has nothing to do with anything that's circumstantially. So yeah, I can rest there and still at the same time learning to trust that whatever's getting done will get done with quality. You know what I mean? It's like the mind worries, like if it's not like the mind has a whole different system. And I just realized that how many activities I've done in my life that were done without presence and with just a narration of, well, it'll get me here or I'll get there, whatever it is, even if it's just to get to the end of the day of work, or get, and just living from that in that way. And it's just over time now, it's just become so barren that something just it just like it just stops it. It just pulls. I get pulled back. I feel like I get pulled back into just this. I know that's I don't like to use it as a cliche, like just this, but
Good, bro. As trying to express your feelings is great. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's what it feels like. It's just that, it's right, whatever, right here, right now. It's just this. And
Good. That means the earth is losing its gravity and you're getting caught in the gravity of the sun. Great.
yeah, it's interesting because I don't feel like I'm doing it. Like, it's not like it just happens like that. It's just something.
You're not doing.
Yeah. And you feel that, like, it's like a tap on the shoulder. Like, that's just like, just in the manner of speaking, you know what I mean? And you just realize, like, it's just so much better to be connected to what is than to be, I mean, you're always connected to what is, but knowingly, and then instead of like being lost in a story about how this, whatever activity you're doing will get you here, and then life will be good then. It's so freaking crazy, man. It's just amazing, living that way.
Let's say, John, let's say in the dreaming, some of us are underappreciative, let's say, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Take a lot for granted and something. And then someone comes and takes our head and puts it in a pail of water. And then we starting to drown. And then they let our head up. And then we really appreciate, yeah,
right,
the breath and the stuff like that. Some of us, that's what the dreaming has been. We needed to learn how precious that ordinary dog shit awareness is. Right? And some of it may have seemed to have been harsh and rough, but it brought the effect. Yeah.
yeah.
So your head has driven you crazy in this life because it painted everything with a stroke of seriousness that became part and parcel of the infection, so to speak. Yes.
Right.
And it was hard to not be serious about how serious we are. And yet life is pouring shit in, and you see there's fissures in your little glass and shit leaking out. And therefore, it's wonderful, man. It's wonderful. I mean, this idea of policeman and thief, I've been using it to sort of coin two main program directions that I have listened to as the radio station in the head. Yes.
Right.
First was, I would now call it a policeman. When I was young, after around 4 or 5, I got very serious. And I had an Irish grandmother and putting some weird shit into me probably. I had a big stick up my ass. I wouldn't curse. I didn't curse till I was sixth grade. I never spoke and shit like that. And then one day I was I was coming down the stairs, and the people that had been older class that were going up, and I could see all the students that were acting out were getting all the attention. So then my head just said bing, and then I started to listen to the thief aspect of the head. Yeah. And then that thief was just waiting until it could get some fuel. And that was when I first had a drink of beer when I was 12. And then the thief took over, which was a rough ride, but it was in a lot of ways much better than listening to the policeman. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I came out of it and I entered into spirituality, and then the policeman showed up. And man, I was a pain in the ass to be around. I mean, seriously. I thought it was just a lot of times life was trying to invite me, and I'm practicing or stuff like that. It was just insane. So all that shit had to blow up. And then I didn't know there was a neither. I thought it was just one or the other. That's the only thing I met in life, one or the other. One was there, then the other one came back. But then non-duality brought me to the neither state, yeah? Whereas there was a loss of interest in both aspects. Yeah. And maybe there are other, it's sort of like when you have waves, you know, the traffic spit, you can have the person telling you the directions in a different voice, like an Australian voice, or there's like maybe 80 options. I've only had 2. I would call them policeman, thief, and then just going back and forth. Then non-duality has brought me to a state of neutrality concerning the thief policeman. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I had no idea was possible. I thought it's either one or the other. Yeah. And yet it's neither. Yeah. Which is great. So now a lot of my jokes are about the thief time, and the policeman is about being like a non-dual Pharisee. Yeah. Knowing the letter of the law, but you've lost the spirit of the law. Yeah. So I've had it, and they're both giant reservoirs of comedy.
Exactly.
And if I'm not amusing anyone else, there's an amusing here. So that's basically, I guess, all that matters. And yeah, just being placed in a position of neutrality, like it says in AA, with no thought or effort on your part, actually is a beautiful description of sort of being at the effect of non-duality. Yeah.
Right.
It's like you're placed in a position of neutrality, neither policeman nor thief, with no thought or effort on your part. So you're not trying not to be the thief or not to be the policeman, or trying to be the policeman and not being a thief. It's just, yeah, there's no thought or effort into it. And
So,
now, I guess it would be called like C-SPAN almost. There's not much opinion or narration. There's just a video of what's going on. So I'm pretty much C-SPAN is playing over my channels right now. I like to call it SEE, not C, the letter C. Yeah. The span of seeing is increasing. There's not more seeing, but they're seeing more. Yeah, they're seeing more.
I mean, would you say, Paul, like the neutrality, it avails you to be available?
Of
right?
course, because you're not slinging arrows or defending yourself, shit like that, against the attacks of the policeman and the thief. They're both stealing from you, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now your invulnerability cannot be attacked by attack thoughts. Yeah. And I saw the thief was unbelievable, but the policeman was like, it was, the policeman I had was one of those ones that have the German shepherds. They lick the dogs on you. That's sort of the policeman version I had. I was just getting mauled by some fucking dog. So now Yeah.
That's good, man. That's good. All right. Well, I just wanted to ask before I let you go. Are you still coming to Pennsylvania and
I
Massachusetts?
don't know yet. I don't know. I put out feelers. I haven't heard from the people, so I'll call them this week, and then if I do, it's going to be in the middle of June or some around there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll keep my fingers crossed. All right, Paul. Thanks, man.
Yeah. I'd like to come, but you know, the Zoom has really really, the Zoom has had a big effect on desire for travel. That's for sure.
Yeah. I
All right.
understand.
Thanks.
Hmm.
Well, I'll let you know, my friends, for sure.
Thank you.
Shall we test whether, where'd Frank go? Frank, are you there? No, he's disappeared.
Yeah. Leave sleeping dogs high.
So maybe he'll be last. Esther is next.
All right. Come on, Esther.
Paul, I have a couple things. First, I want to riff on John Luna's talk to you. When I was growing up, I was given the opportunity to have a consultation every time I needed one. And what happened when I was 11 years old, I was allowed to do it by myself on my own before my mom was present. And what would go on basically was I would present either the policeman's point of view or the thief's point of view, but they would both come in the same session. And then he didn't say anything, the guru, but I concluded, oh, it doesn't mean anything. Like just being able to say them out loud, the policeman and the thief, the whole process was a learning experience just for me to come to my own conclusions that, oh, it doesn't mean anything. And this went on till I was in my 30s. And sometime in 2000, he passed away of a horrible death. And I was told not to tell anyone for 10 days after his passing. And it was very challenging because he was taking care of a blind woman and I couldn't tell her. And she was living alone in a very dangerous neighborhood. Bottom line, I have gone through a lot today. I was in communication with the governor, former governor of Pennsylvania, who's now a senator, presented my case that I wanted him to change the Social Security law so that I could work and still be on disability. I had used up my work trial period for the lifetime of my life. He said he would help. When I sent him a picture of the Ramtha person and a video of Joe Dispenza, he blocked my email. And
Yeah.
Ramtha talked to me about him. And anyway, so I am so wired right now and I missed your talk. So what can you do to help me sleep? Because I don't think any amount of medication today or tomorrow or this week is going to help.
Just take a deep breath, Esther, and then lift your shoulders up to your ears and just drop them with an exhale. Just do a few of those. When your head is mentally anguished, go through the body. Yeah, don't try to tell the head, use the head for the body.
My head is not mentally anguished. It's my body that is.
Well, then just breathe like that deeper, because probably your breath has gotten shorter because you're getting.
I've been holding my breath, my exhale.
Well, then, so breathe deep. They used to have the old thing is baby breath, which is just breathe in your belly, fill it up with air, let it go, breathe another one in, and basically you're going to feel different after 10 breaths. Okay.
Excellent. And also, I really, I know my channel usually should be through Mike, but I'm making an appeal to Miranda and people of her age to please befriend me, because when my family is gone, I won't have anybody except who's left with Paul. And I can't deal with that. So I'm going to put my number in the everyone chat. Please stay connected with me.
Okay, Esther. Well, and we'll hopefully keep seeing you here. And
Oh, for sure. As much as I can.
Well, great, honey. Please get some rest tonight. And some people like tea. Good tea is nice. Yeah. Yeah. Some people like to talk, they listen to the talks and it puts them to sleep. So you can start at the first talk. I bet you'll be asleep by 93.
I'll listen to Italy 1.
Oh, yeah. Listen to Italy 1. Yeah.
I like Italy 8 as well.
Oh,
So
Italy 8.
so when you do Italy, can you do Italy with a different, like, Italy, make a different title for your Italy talks coming if they go through.
Definitely.
So I can
yes.
distinguish between them when I look them up.
They're gonna be the mafia talks. Yeah,
Oh my God. You sure?
that's for sure. The
Think of
income.
something else. Think of something else. We don't want to associate your girlfriend with the mafia.
Don't worry about it. No, we won't do that. We'll have a name. It'll be Sicily Talks.
Thank you. Excellent. I love you.
Thank you, Esther. Hey, we're so happy that you show up here, and I hope.
And this is a shirt from my website. Holy Child of God.
Oh, great! Holy
The shirts
child.
I wear are on my website.
Oh, great!
And the ones that I bought from you, but I don't wear them because I have to wear a bra with them. But
All right. Yes. Yes. So we have the certain dress code when it comes to Zen bitch slap stuff. Yes. Gotta wear a bra with it. Yeah. Yes. True. All right. Anyone else?
oh,
Let's-
one last thing. Instead of what you were saying about the news channel CNN or whatever, it's Comedy Central that you listen to now.
But we were going a little joke with the C-SPAN thing. But yeah,
But it's Comedy Central.
Yes, that's my cable, Comedy Central. Yes.
We
My
miss
own
what's his
cable.
name? The one that died of cancer. Carlin.
George
John-
Carlin.
Yeah, George Carlin.
Larry.
I saw his movie or something like a movie that he did. It was phenomenal. Anyone who watches it is really going to be laughing their heart out.
Yeah, he's awesome. Definitely. All right. Well, let's go to someone else, Esther. Thank you. Have a good night. I hope you
Thank
get
you.
some sleep. Yeah.
Thank you.
No hands, but Nick B in chat did wonder if the bag you were making was the flying squirrel body bags that we once talked about.
I'm not, I can't share that right now.
Okay.
It's still in the project stage. Yes. We haven't gotten our first volunteer for the flying squirrel. But we will present it as an option
You're-
in Zen Bitch Slap. Yes, we will.
You're
That is
practicing.
the Forever Lazy body bag. We'll also, they're gonna both be on offer. So yeah. Just, we'll do a little talk one day about the flying squirrel suit. Yeah. I have some good ideas, I think. Maybe should have run by people. So all right, yeah, but the Forever Lazy body bag is very good. Yeah. That's also when we were gonna turn into a cult, we were gonna have Forever Lazies, like those adult onesies, but they only came in 3 colors. And I saw them in Walgreens, but I was too cheap to buy one. But yes, the Forever Lazy is one of the, I think, I love the never mind.
They're very practical.
Yeah, Forever Lazy. Actually, especially now with the Zooms, we could all have matching
Actually, I can't believe
Forever Lazy onesies. Yes.
Actually, I got the lower half on.
Would be pretty cool. Yeah. We're all comfortable, traveling lighter. All right. Okay, so anyone else, or we'll just call it a night?
Still no hands.
All right, let me say goodbye then. We got Craig May. We're glimpsing into Craig's corner there. He just
Look at that
disappeared.
lighting.
There he is. Yes. He's in the sunlight of the spirit. Yes. Very nice.
Very pretty.
Yeah. We got Raj Mahal. Nice to see you, Raj. Yeah. Marty, we're doing our best to fulfill your wants and needs when it comes to the Zooms. Hope we're doing a good job. We got Sherry. Sherry is going to be in Sicily. So far, that'll be wonderful. And also, let me take a minute or two here to talk about Sicily. Some of us went to Italy last year, the first retreat, let's call it. And there was 24 of us. And there was a magic there, really. That was unbelievable. And then, of course, we got the Zen bitch slap with the COVID. Half of us got COVID at the end of the retreat. But luckily, it was the last day when everyone was leaving. And so Amelia did so much for it, and it was just worked beautifully. And had a great, she worked with a guy, Mauro, from there. And we had a wonderful, saw so much stuff, and just great. Fantastic. Aquamarine water all day. And so now we're moving south to Sicily, and we're expecting to have another wonderful explosion of an event. And yeah, so everyone's welcome. We'd like to see if people who want to go could put the down payment in before April 20th, because we need to have a certain amount of people to go ahead with it. And that, I think it's 20. I think we got a 12 or so signed up. So if you're interested, and if something changes, I think until a certain point, the whatever thing would be refunded until a certain point, then it can't be refunded. So yeah, look into that. It's on the website. Amelia will answer your questions. I think her email's there, and she's doing a great job with it. Looks like a beautiful place, and yeah, it'd be awesome to spend time with everyone. I'd be speaking twice a day, every day, and yeah. Okay, so let me say goodbye. We got Sherry, we got Irene. I hope you're feeling better, Irene. Yeah. I think it's Dennis W. Yes. Thank you. I have a thing, part of the Zoom blocks it, so I can't see it. Alan O. Nice to see you, Alan. Thanks for all your support. Alan may be coming. That would be nice.
Oh.
Gary Clark. Oh, he is. I hope so. Great. We got Gary Clark in Placerville. I just had a pleasure of hanging out with him for a while. Very nice. We got Hari. She's at the Dark Retreat again. A good friend of ours from Portland. David from Down Under. Nice to see you, my friend. We got Annette's iPad. Annette, I think's in Pennsylvania somewhere. We got Zoom user. Zoom user. Nice to see you. We got Miranda kicking some ass, taking names and kicking ass, whatever.
Is
We
it
got
Dana?
Mia.
Dana's the Zoom user.
Oh, yes, Dana's the Zoom user. Yes, Dana. We got Mia Down Under. We got William S. Oh, he's gone horizontal. Wow. Yes. Miss Amelia. She's a friend of ours is here, Rebecca. Shout out to her. She's in the other room. We got Susanna W. Susanna, one of these days, come to the live meeting in Marin City, like Saturday. Zach G. Lynn D. Brahmi. She went back to the homeland, India. We got Grateful Dave. Always a pleasure to see that he's in the house. Susan K, my latte lady. Let me see. We got David. Yeah, we got David already. John Luna, Mike, as always. Ketan Bakrania. Nice to see you. Did we get the name right, Ketan?
It's Ketan, almost like kitten.
All right,
Yeah.
Ketan.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
We got Brian in Minneapolis. Niraj, I think I got Niraj. That's cool. Nice to meet you, Niraj. Anu, very happy. Anu's going to be in Sicily, I think. Yes, fantastic. You can miss me, but don't miss Anu, really. Yeah, she's a hidden treasure of Zen bitch slap. Yes. We got him, Craig May, Marty, Harry, Williams, Zach. Oh, Zach G. I thought it was Jack G. All right. Well, I think I got everybody. If I didn't, I apologize. Hey, I'll see you soon.
Is that Rebecca? Bubbles Rebecca with you?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Rebecca.
She's in the living room. Yeah, they had me sealed off in the bedroom. Yes. We'll be there tomorrow with the recovery and live and on Zoom 1 o'clock Saturday, 1 o'clock PM Western time. And thank you, everybody. And I'll see you soon.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good
Paul.
night.
Mike, thank you.
Beautiful.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Mike.
Bye,
See
Alan.
everybody.